Today's tip video is going to be quite different. It's probably going to be the only time I ever do anything like this because it's just kind of weird. I'm going to be doing a little bit of inside baseball, talking about YouTube, content creation, and stuff like that. And I'm choosing this time to do that one because we've been doing these woodworking tips of the day for the entire month of January, every weekday at 9 a.m. or pretty close to 9 a.m. So it's a good time to reflect, decide what we want to go for in the future, if we even want to continue with these tips, and ask for your feedback. Because really, this isn't a two-way communication, but hopefully today, down in the comments, we can make it that way. If you're not really interested in this kind of stuff, please skip down to the bonus section, or I'll just see you tomorrow, and we'll return to our woodworking tips. So, quick background. I started my YouTube channel 7-8 years ago. Originally, I wasn't producing that much content. It wasn't very high quality content. It was just me experimenting with some stuff that I was teaching at the high school level, and I just wanted to play around with it before I went in from the classroom. When I left teaching, I opened up my own school, and all of a sudden it became a marketing tool for me. So for about 4 years after that, it was basically me providing information with the hopes that people would visit the school, or at least spread the word about the school, or know about it in the future. After I shut the school down, it was just kind of an outlet for me to scratch that teaching itch. And over about the past 3 years, I've actually tried to make a good portion of my income from it. I don't think I'll ever be able to make all my income from YouTube, but there aren't very many people in the DIY sector, the craft sector, that do that one. Most of them get income from sponsors, or items that they sell, or DVDs, or plans, or something like that. And the YouTube is just, it's a small portion, almost an irrelevant portion for their full income. And I kind of understand that going forward. My hope is that in the future, my main income will be from content creation, but it'll be cross-platform, writing for magazines, selling books, that kind of stuff. Now, in my mind, I kind of categorize most of us YouTubers into 3 categories, especially in this craft side of it, the education side of it. You have a lot of demonstrators out there, really great, entertaining people. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to say anything's wrong. They're just different categories. Demonstrators, I would classify Laura Comp, one of my favorite people to follow. I get a lot of inspiration from him, but it's basically videography demonstrating actual woodworking or craft. You don't have much communication there. Jimmy DeResta, another example, he built his platform off of those fast forward, watch me do stuff. And there's some kind of voyeuristic aspect to it that's just really kind of cool. And if you've seen a lot of science studies on this one, they study people that watch video gamers who are playing on YouTube and they just watch other people game. You get all the same dopamine levels, or pretty close to the same dopamine levels of actually doing it. So you can understand why it's a really benefit for those kind of demonstration style videos. From there you get a lot of other makers that are kind of personality bent. It's the personality of the presenter that really makes the content great. An original example of that one would be Roy Underhill. I mean, he's got a wonderful personality. He presents the content. You enjoy listening to him to talk, so you absorb the information. In the woodworking realm, I would classify the Samurai Carpenter. Really fun gentleman to watch. Even maybe the Wood Whisperer, or Woodworking for Mere Mortals. There's a little bit of a personality bent that draws you into them. And then you have people in the category I classify myself as a straight up educator. You know, you're not going to learn my dog's name, that kind of stuff. You don't need that personal information to get the benefit from what I'm presenting, and that's what I go off of. So with that in mind, and that's kind of where I want to go in the future, on the really educational side, that was the motivation for my decisions these past few years. Now this might seem like common sense, but YouTube makes money off of ad views. Not the number of subscribers, not the number of views a video gets, but the number of ads they can present. Now sometimes, for most of us, that was ads at the beginning of a video. And if you look at the history of YouTube, for a long time they were promoting these 4, 5, 6-minute videos. They were telling us if you have a 10-minute video, that's way too long. Why? Because they wanted to show you more ads before the video starts. If the videos are shorter, you're going to watch more videos in a given amount of time, see more ads. Then the demographics and how people use YouTube started to change, and YouTube started to put a more priority on view time because they could present more of those little boxes, those knowing boxes that pop up that you have to put the X's on. Those are ads, all that kind of stuff. So the longer your video goes, the more the people are actually watching you, the more ads they can present. In fact, they have given some of us people who make longer content the ability now to position an ad within our content. So you can do a little teaser and come back after this message, kind of hiding it in the middle of a video if it's a certain amount of time. That's probably why you started, around Christmas time, you started seeing videos that had little commercials right in the middle of it that you'd have to skip in 5 seconds that used to just show up at the beginning. That's kind of something new. And they've been telling us in our ads and stuff, in our analytics, they're pushing the content time, the view time. They're also pushing you to make more content, more fresh content, because get stuff, fresh content out there, more ads. It's all kind of simple. In fact, some of the people that they highlight as people to model yourselves out of, people like Casey Neistat. His channel blew up the moment he decided he would produce a video a day. And he was, I don't want to call him the predecessor of what people are doing as vlogging right now, but he was kind of one of the big ones that were clean, innocuous, advertiser friendly. So, he got promoted and his subscribers, views, all that kind of stuff skyrocketed, and that's kind of what people have been doing nowadays. He does have a pretty saying that makes a lot of sense to me. If you're going to make content creation your income, you got to show up for work every day. So, now, that was kind of the spark of the idea for producing daily content from me. And I did experiment with it on Instagram last fall. I was producing these daily tips in that short 1 minute they had, really focusing on the editing, getting it down quickly. But quite frankly, I don't understand Instagram. I don't understand how a content creator can make money off of it unless you are just sending people to a store or something like that, and then it's just posting pictures of, t-shirts and stuff to sell. I mean, it's I don't grasp the concept there. So I decided after the holiday rush where I was working, 3 to 4 markets a week, I just didn't have any time, that in January when things really slowed down for me, I would try to produce a video a week. But I would have to do it quite a bit differently than everybody else out there, because if you have your demonstrator-based people, well, they could just put a cam in their shop and do a fast forward motion of them working on something. You could zoom into it. The personality-based people, they do those kind of day-in-the-life vlogs that are quite popular and entertaining and stuff like that. That work out well. You're driving to the lumber store, collect stuff. You just random thoughts that you can discuss right there. Really entertaining. But what's an educator to do? Well, my kind of thinking was I could take what the magazines were doing. They always had that front section of tips of the month or something like that, where they had 5 or 6 just one paragraph tips with a picture. Well, I could do the same thing. And if I told myself I wasn't going to work any markets on Sunday, maybe if I limited myself to only one retake, didn't really care about the quality of the video or stuff like that, just kind of bash it out as fast as possible, didn't really do big projects, maybe I'd do something with my hands to demonstrate what I'm talking about, but really streamline the production process so that I could film, edit, and upload a video in 2 to 3 hours. Well, I could do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday video in the Sunday that I'm taking off from markets. Now, did that really work out this month? No. Most of my videos ended up taking me 3 to 6. I think a couple of them took me all day to do. So if I go forward, I'm going to really reduce it down to what I did this week and make sure that I have my videos less than 6 minutes commitment. Some of those 12, 15-minute videos I did as a daily tip in January, I could have broken those out. That bandsaw one, I basically showed you how to tune up a bandsaw. That's not a daily tip, that's a full-long video. And, you know, learning. So if I could get myself to produce those 5 short videos in a day, day and a half, like I want to, running forward, that would leave me 1 day to work a market, probably Saturday, and another 4 days to make stuff to sell in that market and work on a bigger content video production. Either one for my education series or the classroom series, which is where I really want to go. Now in January, I really wasn't able to do that one. I ended up making 2 of my long form videos. One was published and one I have yet to publish. I'm probably going to wait till the weekend to do it. I just don't want to put 2 videos out on a weekday because I don't think it'll benefit that much. I'll leave my bigger long format contents from now on for either a Saturday or Sunday upload. But that was my idea. Quick, something I can edit, produce, put out there. I would just be teaching and we would go from there. My thinking was if I could get it down to 1 day or a day and a half of content creation, I knew my videos would not get that many views. YouTube has this kind of target for us where they want you to hit 8% of your subscription content in views within the first 48 hours. So if you're like me with 50,000 subscribers, 8%, that's roughly 4,000 views within 2 days of uploading. And if you meet that goal, they say that you're basically targeting your subscription base and giving them content that they want and need. If you don't meet that goal, you need to analyze what you're doing and figure out how to improve it. None of these tips are ever going to do that one. And I understand that going into it. But if one of my normal videos that are 30 minutes to an hour and a half long, that's kind of what I'm known for, takes me a week or 2 weeks to do, that's a lot of time investment, and they might get the 15 to 20,000 views over that first month. But if I could do these videos in a day and a half to 2 days, if each one of them only got 2,500 views, well, at the end of the week, that would be the same amount of views overall as one of my more production-oriented videos. They would just be spread out, but my time commitment to earn those views would be a lot less. You would think that would give them more opportunities to sell ads and stuff like that, but let's look at my numbers. I'm not going to give you exact numbers, I'm just going to give you trends. In the month of January, and I'm filming this on the 29th, so 2 days short of the entire month, my watch time, the number of minutes people watch my videos, that's gone up compared to January, February, all that kind of stuff. My number of views have gone up. My view duration, how long people watch my videos, has gone down and gone down quite a bit, but that was to be expected. I mean, normally I make 30-minute to an hour and a half videos, and now I'm making less than 5 to 6 minute videos. To be expected. Okay? Number of likes of my videos up, dislikes up, that's pretty good. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. Comments were up, number of times people shared my videos were up, number of times people put my videos in their playlist up, and my number of subscribers up. Everything sounds good until you look deeper. All those numbers were up statistically over the last period, but you could attest that to normal organic growth. I mean, your curve is always going to slowly kind of come up like that until way down below. Very rarely is it going to flatten out or go down. It's just kind of normal growth. For example, look at my subscribers. In the month of January, I passed the 50,000 subscriber mark, mainly because a burst of subscribers according to the YouTube thing. I mean, they went up. I gained 4,000 subscribers so far this month. I also lost over 1,000. So my gain was plus or minus 3,000 people. Okay? In a normal month, I might only gain 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers, but I would only lose 100 or 2. So you see, I lost quite a bit. That loss, so people were looking at these tips videos expecting my normal content, saying I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm subscribing. So with that, you can almost say that the subscriber uptick was a total wash, because I lost a lot more and I just gained a little bit more. So you look at your views and your view durations. My views went up a little bit. Was that attested to normal organic growth, or was it attested to these tips? We don't really know. But my view duration, how much somebody watched each individual video, went down dramatically. For the past 2 years, I've been averaging 16, 17 minutes on a video. And if you have a 45-minute video, that means a third of the people that clicked on it one time watched the full thing. Obviously, most people would watch a little bit and then maybe click off or skip forward or skip back. Some people would start it up and within 30 seconds say, nope, this guy talks funny, and click away. Well, all those counted. And if you look at my videos, mine are a little bit different from everyone else's. And I think it's because I am an educator and people are returning to them to refresh their memory. So what I have is I might have a spike of views up here, but you would think it would taper off as more and more people left. But then I'll have a spike over here. So what was happening was people were starting the videos and they were going back and watching one section over or reviewing stuff. So they were using it more like a textbook, jumping to the chapter they needed. And I like that. That fascinates me. That's exactly the kind of content I want to create. But with the shorter videos, that's not happening. And it dropped that down quite a bit. And what's a further thing is you can identify who's watching your videos. Your subscribers and the unsubscribed. Normally, in every month before January, I had about 90% of my viewers were unsubscribed to me. Meaning they found me by searching for content or on the side of YouTube where they suggest stuff to click on, they found me there. And that's about average. In January, 33% of my views were from subscribers. What that tells me is me producing a lot of these shorter contents that aren't getting as many views, all of a sudden the YouTube algorithms is saying, hey, wait a second. He's making more content, but not as many people want to see it. Maybe what he's making isn't as good as when he used to make one thing that would get the same number of views as these 5 videos. That video was self-regulated. The audience is telling YouTube, that video is really good. We will promote that video. These little small tips, well, not many people are watching it. Not many people are selecting to watch it. That's probably not as good. So this channel is no longer making as good a content, so the algorithm doesn't promote it as much. So this month's views were a lot harder earned than what I was doing in December. Is that making sense? Furthermore, here's a little weird thing. These daily educational videos I'm doing today, they have no time element. They're not time sensitive. It's not like I'm showing you the latest iPhone and there's going to be a new model in 2-3 months, so that video is not going to be worth as much as the next iPhone video. These are kind of timeless setups, and a lot of my long form videos, I look at that way. These are going to be a reference, a textbook-like element that people can return to. They will always be of value. But you look at the shelf life of what I've done just this month with these educational tips videos. They'll get about 2,500 views in those first 48 hours, and then the view count plummets down. Whereas I have videos that I made 2-3 years ago, these textbook style long form educational ones, that consistently get those $2,000 to $3,000 a view per week, just like my fresh tips video. But you go back 2 weeks from today to those videos I did in the first week of January, and you look at the number of views they are getting. That first week they got 2,500 views. The next week lower, and now they're getting 2 or 3 views a day. The shelf life just plummets. So these daily videos really aren't going to be worth anything next month. Whereas if you spend time making a long form content, even though it's target audience same educational material, just a lot more of it, they have a shelf life, if that makes sense to you. So these are all the things that kind of run through a YouTuber like me's head. And where I want to be able to do this, or where I really thought, was I could spend, the day making these 5 videos, the next 4 or 5 days working on product to sell, my long form content, and writing. What have I done this month? I've spent way too much time on those 5 videos. That's what the data shows. I didn't spend nearly enough time making long form contents with just 2, and I really should be making 3 to 4 of those. And I can tell you, behind the scenes, I haven't done any writing this month. And that's a real big disappointment. So in February, I'm going to continue it for at least 1 more month for one simple reason. I did this in January. January is a very weird month for advertisement in YouTube. Give you an example. With all these big numbers, and I've told you that we don't really, it's a growth, but I don't really know if it's organic growth. I can tell you one hard fact. My income difference between December and January is half. January, I have made half as much as I made in December as far as income. Now, that's because in December, people are unloading the last of their advertising budgets. They're doing all the Christmas thing. And in January, a lot of people don't have their 2018 advertising budgets approved of, so they can't make the ad buys, which is what January. So there is typically a huge drop-off in AdSense revenue for all content creators, from YouTube to just blogs that have advertisements on the side, just across the internet. And if you look at what a lot of people say, they typically go down to about 20 to 25% of their December revenue in January. And I've only gone down to half. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. It seems to be a positive to me, but it could just be I'm an educator, my content's been educator, and that's about what it would normally be, because I wasn't doing as well last year, so I don't have anything to compare it to. So I'm going to do these woodworking tips of the day through February and make my decision. And in order to make it better, I'm kind of reaching out to y'all for this two-way communication. Now, what I did in January, here was my format. I wanted to make a 5 to 8 minute video, which I didn't do all of those very well. They went too long on a lot of them. I spent too much time in it. We covered that earlier. A 5 to 8 minute video. I would open each video and tell you the reason why you wanted to learn this. Maybe a crack in your bowl or something like that. Give you a reason to watch the rest of the tip. I would have a very quick intro identifying the title, the main subject, my logo, and then I would move straight into giving out the tip. And at the end of the video, I wanted to give you a bonus, another reason why to watch my videos on a daily basis. That was a bonus. And in there, I would be promoting fellow educators, because we are a small market, or articles that are kind of education basis or that I really did appreciate that made you think, or tools I liked. Okay, I was going off of those 3 things. In February, I might open it up to stuff I'm selling. Use that as a kind of a pitch time, but we'll see. Maybe not. 2 cosmetics things I would do is I would really focus on the thumbnail, and a lot of people don't realize how important that thumbnail is. To give you an example, one of my videos was about resetting the sharpening gouge. And for my thumbnail, I thought I did something really cool. I turned out all the lights, I went to the grinder, and I made huge sparks. So you saw this flame of sparks coming off the video. But when people looked at that, all they saw was the sparks. They didn't really know what the video was about. And really, I got like 500 views that first day, which was really scary to me. I changed out that thumbnail icon to a picture with the lights on where you could see that I was sharpening a gouge, and then the views went back up to where they should have been on that first day fairly quickly. So, the thumbnail is really important. The other thing is, I would not identify what the subject of the tip was with text. I would always just put woodworking tip of the day, because I was trying to train you, my audience, to click on it to at least figure out what the tip was about. And if I could keep the video short enough, that wouldn't be that big a risk to you. My thinking in my head is, once you hit the 7-8 minute mark on a video, because all videos have that little timestamp, all of a sudden people are saying, do I want to commit the time to watch that video? But if it's 5 or 6 minutes or even less than that, I'll say, oh, that's nothing. I could watch that one while I'm sitting on the toilet or something like that. I mean, it's not a big time commitment. So that's another reason why I want to keep them really short. So in February, I'm going to go off of that. I'm not going to get videos much longer than 6 minutes. I believe it's smart for me to keep doing good pictures with just that woodworking tip of the day as the thumbnail. In the text, I will put the description, what's in the video, and links to the bonuses, but I want to train the audience to click on it. My question to y'all is, what else do you think I could do to make producing daily educational content worthwhile and not detrimental? Because even the January's numbers were skewed because it was January, so I can't really judge it. By the end of February, I should have a good idea, and it might be that daily content from somebody, a DIY creator, might be bad in the long run. That's what I'm trying to decide now. That's the kind of feedback I'm hoping to get from y'all, is what I could do to make it worthwhile. So please, down in the comments below, leave a comment. And if you just want to troll me and say, hey, lose weight, don't be so spazzy, speak better, that's not going to help me out. Constructive criticism, that's all I'm looking for. You want to leave the troll comments, I got a really quick block button I can click. So y'all be safe and have fun. Since I talked about him earlier, for today's bonus, let's talk about Roy Underhill. Yeah, I know, he's been out making content that we've been consuming for 34 years now, I guess. And yes, he's a great person now, he can really get it. But did you know he's done a TED Talks? And there's a video out on YouTube about him doing a TED Talk. And it's one of his more interesting things, because he's not really talking about woodworking, but he's using woodworking to explain a bigger concept about what we turn towards as advancement. Really, really entertaining. I'll put a link down below to the YouTube video. Watch it out. Go see Roy Underhill's TED Talk.